let's get into the bronze bomber. Didn't get a chance to cover it while the fight was going on. But what's happened to Wilder? A few things. There's a lot of elements here. The biggest thing is, it shouldn't be no shocker. Wilder is what he always has been. And this is what you see when he's not under the cover of PBC. Certain matchmaking and certain fights, I always said, once you get him from out that cover of PBC, this was always going to happen. This is why people were saying to build upon his craft. But, Deontay Wilder and his fan base, along with his trainer, has crippled him even more. But it's something more to it than that. Because Wilder has always been behind on the scorecards. He's never been a great boxer. He's never been none of that. It's always been the right hand. But what is the key element that he's missing? And Wilder lost something that he couldn't afford to lose, and he just lost it. And that is Wilder's killer instinct. He only had two things: that right hand and a killer instinct, knowing when to go off. If you recall, when you used to watch Wilder fight, of course he's always behind in points and whatever and whatnot. Wilder was always dangerous when he got fatigued or when he got in trouble. He always knew how to spring up out that and make a move. Do something sporadic. Wilder was always dangerous. The more you had him hurt and the more fatigued he was, he would take risk and do stuff like that. That is no longer present. That's why I made sure I put the screenshot up here, because when I looked at him in that corner, his killer instinct is completely gone. And that ayahuasca or whatever he was doing, I think it totally depleted him. And that's something that he needed, because he only had that and a right hand. Other than that, everything we see was stuff that was eventually going to happen as soon as he stepped up in class. And now he's at the point he can no longer fight the type of opponent that he used to fight. And now you're in there with guys that are elite or on the level that you should have been fighting thus far. And as we know, iron sharpen iron. And if you've been sharpening your stuff with a plastic fork, then this is exactly what you get. And one of the main things is Deontay Wilder always had a problem with anybody stepping to him, and walking him down. Now everybody's stepping to him. Now people can get hit with that right hand and they ain't going nowhere. So the morale is gone too. But as far as the skill set, if you ask me, him training with Malik Scott, he has drastically digressed. What happened to Wilder's jab? What happened to Wilder's jab? Wilder had a jab, but all this cat pawing and stuff like that, it's not going to do it. And how far would Wilder get after he throws that right hand? He came back with a 3. He came back with a hook. That alone would carry him. If after throwing that right hand, he would just learn to come back with a hook. Because Deontay Wilder can be a good hooker. But at the same time, it's a lot of basic functional flaws. And number one, his balance, like I always say, he's too heavy up top, too small down at the bottom. That's why when he gets weak, the first thing you see on him wobbling is his legs. With all this, there's nobody that stepped in, a strength and conditioning coach that helps build that or help even out his frame. And this is why when Wilder swings, he's all over the place, because he's bigger up top than he is at the bottom. And on top of having them peg legs. So that's always the first thing that betrays him. Because it ain't going to be Wilder's chin. Wilder got a chin. It ain't going to be his chin. Just Wilder, once he gets fatigued, them Bambi legs, they like to go. That's something that he should have been working on. It's a lot of stuff he should have been working on all this time. It's kind of like the same thing with Errol Spence. People was telling people about Errol Spence. Errol Spence is limited. He need to work on that defense. Once he get in there with somebody who's not just going to stand in front of him, he's going to have problems. This is why he had a problem with Sean Porter. And that's why he got beat down by Terrence Bud Crawford. Same thing with Deontay Wilder. You got to get to the point where this is where I give Canelo props. This is where I give Crawford props. This is where I give Javonte Davis props. You gotta have a team, and you gotta have a mentality with the ability to close gaps. You know what I'm saying? You gotta close your gaps. You gotta close those flaws. You gotta make them more narrow. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing what happened with Errol Spence. He stopped advancing. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't learning anything new. He wasn't adding. He just stayed to where he's at. Crawford is constantly evolving. Javonte is evolving. Canelo wouldn't have got to where he got if he didn't evolve, if he didn't close some gaps. You know what I'm saying? You can't just leave that stuff open, because eventually you're going to go against somebody who got a good team, who studies you, who got a good game plan, who knows your weakness, you know what I'm saying? Knows your 1-2, know what you're going to go for, and they're going to have a game plan to beat that ass. And that's all it is. But nonetheless, Wilder is what he's always has been. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's still got the right hand, but now we're at a point where that right hand just don't put people away no more like that. You know what I'm saying? And plus his killer instinct is gone. And with Malik Scott training him, he has digressed even more. I don't know what all that pawn is in the first place. Wilder's arms is too long not to have a superior jab. It don't make no sense. He's jabbing all the time when I look at him training with Malik Scott. Isn't he? So what happened to it? What's up with that pawn stuff? That stuff ain't gonna do it. You know Wilder can't get out the way in time. You know Wilder got 2 left feet. You know what I'm saying? So you need to work on the attributes that's gonna work for him. And they don't even, now Wilder's the king of the back foot. And everybody knows he can't fight on the back foot. The only thing you got to do is press Wilder. That's it. So truthfully, he ain't winning no fights from here on out, unless he makes a conscious decision to advance and change his team and stuff like that. But if you ain't made no adjustments at this point, if you ain't figured out that Malik Scott ain't that guy at this point, anybody who was somebody who could help Wilder, he got rid of, or he just flat out didn't listen to. You know what I'm saying? But he religiously listens to Malik Scott, somebody that he beat. It doesn't make no sense. Wilder has made a lot of dumb decisions that could have saved him if he would just do the basic when it comes to making himself a better fighter. But nonetheless, here we are now, and now you seeing Wilder as we always seen him, the mighty one-trick pony. Now it looks like he can't win a fight, not at this level. And plus his killer instinct is gone. Yeah, he might as well retire, because from here on out he's gonna be a crash dummy, and nobody's scared of him no more at all. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, while people talking about how shitty Wilder is or something like this, before I get out of here, I want to put this on your mind. Everybody saying how Wilder's flawed and this and that and he needs to retire. This is who Tyson Fury beat to get compared to Ali.